All right, so this is a technical SEO checklist. It should have everything you need for a good audit. All right, perfect. So on the left here, we have our items, and this is everything we'll be checking. On our right here, we have the video explanation guide, which you are watching right now. We have a page speed testers. This is what we'll be using afterwards to test our page speed. If you're still having issues afterward, what you can do is go to the page speed guide here, and it will have further instructions. Technical documentation, again, more technical documentation if you can't find anything in this tutorial. Auditing tools, Screaming Frog, I recommend you download that for checking links. If you don't want to download Screaming Frog, I've also included Dr. Link Check here, which you can use as well. Go to the top left here, make a copy, because you're not going to have access to it afterwards. So the website we're going to be auditing is this local charity here, as you can see. And so in Google Search Console, I have a bunch of errors, and that's basically what we'll be getting to. All right, let's start auditing. So in our VS Code here, which is just an editing tool for our files, let's go through the audit, and we will fix them afterwards. So decoding async. So we have decoding async and asynchronous. Synchronous. Asynchronous just basically means that it will take the document out at runtime, so it won't load during that period. Synchronous means it will block the document from loading. Alt text. So alt text is important for screen readers. Google also uses that for images, for displaying in the SERP. For that. So yeah. So our alt here is our arrow, aria hidden true. So this is a decorative element. So we actually technically don't even need this alt text saying that it's an arrow, because it will be taken out for screen readers. But that's all right. We got loading eager and decoding async. Again, loading eager is... Oh, actually, no, I haven't explained this. So the loading eager just basically tells to load this right away. The opposite of eager is lazy, and it will load it further. Now you use eager for above the fold images, and lazy for below the fold. Oh, I forgot to touch on fetch priority high. So what fetch priority high does, let's just see. Okay, so we have fetch priority high. Basically what this does is it will prioritize fetching this image above everything else. Okay, so let's mark a checklist here. That's good. Alt text, that's good. Like again, I'd go through this whole document, make sure that I have all the alt text checked for each image. Decoding async, again, I check all the images, make sure that it is indeed decoding async. Preload image, if above the fold. Okay, so this image here is above the fold, which is this right here, right? So this is above the fold, so this is instantly loaded. So let's see if we have our preload. We have our preload image, awesome, which is this guy here. So we can mark that as a yes. Again, height and width attributes. That's again for CLS, which is cumulative layout shift. That's basically when you're loading the document here, it's what shifts in. So normally on load here, you would have it shifting, but we're loading this so quickly that you can't see it with the naked eye. All right, that's good. Use WebP or AVF format. So those are different image compression types. Or sorry, let me back up. Those are different image file types. and you would use WebP or AVF. WebP is legacy, AVF is for newer browsers. So if you need to support old browsers, use WebP. And use this tool. Okay, on to the next one. So compress images to lower res save file resources. So what you want to do with your images is you want to compress them, because the human eye, again, can only see so much before, it doesn't matter. Like it's not going to make a difference to us as humans, but to a computer that's loading all of this, it makes a huge difference of how much bytes it's loading. So you just go in, compress all your images, and bring them back. I've already gone ahead and compressed them. Crop images, depending on the device. So depending on if you have a mobile, tablet, or desktop version for your images. So the smaller the image there, so if you're on mobile, right, you want a smaller image. That way you're bringing in less resources. Compress SVG, it's the same idea as images. Use the ARIA hidden attribute, if it's just decorative. Generating fav icons, so that's this little guy on the top here. We have it generated, we can mark that as a yes. Statically host fonts and use common operating system fonts as fallbacks. So what we're going to do is we're going to go into root here. All right, so one thing I am missing here in the audit, we are going to mark this as no, because I do not have a WAF format. WAF is basically legacy. So if I have older browsers here and they don't know what WAF2 is, which is a better, again, compression type of WAF for this specific file type. Okay. Statically host fonts, no. What's the next one? Preload fonts. All right, let's check the preload. Again, making sure that we are loading this in as soon as the document loads. All right, so we're preloading it before even the document loads. We'll mark that as a yes. Use WAF2 as fallbacks. No, I've already discussed that. Statically host fonts and use, actually I can mark that as a yes, sorry. Because we are using system fonts. Use operating to prevent CLS issues. Okay, so let's go back to the root here and I will explain what I mean by that. So when you're loading your page initially here, it's going to use the operating font here. So this is part of the default operating system font. So what you want to do is you basically want to configure your font to be as close as possible to the font you're loading in. That way you prevent cumulative layout shifts again. All right. Rel equals no follow, no refer. Okay, so this is just passing link equity around. So if we go look at our links here, our A tags, like this is an internal link here, so we're passing internal link equity. But if we go look for an external link, I don't think I have any external links. I know I have an external link in the footer. Let's just go look in the footer then. Sections, footer. Where are you? All right, so here you can see that we have an external link and we're targeting blank, but we are passing link equity to it. So, and I don't want to do that. Like there's no point in me passing link equity to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a rel equals no follow. And basically what this does is it tells the page that we're not passing link equity like explained earlier. Now if we wanted to pass link equity, again, we would just wouldn't put this in. All right, perfect. Targeting blank, that means it will open a new tab. That's good. We can mark this as yes. I will go through the rest of the pages later. This is just for demonstration purposes. OG titles, tags. Let's check the base. All right, that all looks good. We can mark that as a yes. This is just for your social media. Files compressed. Yeah, we will be doing that at runtime, so I can mark this as yes. HTML documents are so there's a update back in, I believe, February, specifically with HTML document size. Google is only crawling up to 2 megabytes now. So make sure your documents less than 2 megabytes, or it won't be completely crawled. I know how you can check that actually. Before marking that as yes. We'll go back into here, and we will go into more tools, developer tools. We'll open this up, go to the network tab, we'll refresh, and this is our HTML document here. And what we are doing is we are checking the size of this document. Where are you? Will it tell me the size of the document? Where are you? Oh, maybe in general here. No. It should tell me how many bytes, like the size somewhere. Okay. Well, it's not telling me the size, but I know for sure. Maybe if I... Oh, okay. Well, it tells it right here. So this document's only 5.9 kilobytes. No, it's a very small document. All right. Mark that as a yes. Defer attribute for non-above the fold files. So any JavaScript that we may have, we just want to go ahead and defer it. And what deferring does is it waits till the whole document's loaded before bringing it in. We could also do asynchronous, which again is the same thing as the images there. It will bring it in at the same time as all the other files. Robots.txt properly configured. Let's go check that. Where are you, robots.txt? Close, make this smaller. Robots.index.html. Where's the txt file? Okay, I don't actually have the txt file. I might have deleted it or something. I'm just going to add this back in then. But okay, we're importing it into here, so yeah, that's fine. I don't know what happened to the robots.txt file, but this all looks good. Disallow basically means that we're going to tell Googlebot not to crawl this. User agent, that's just saying what the search crawlers are. You can specify what search crawlers call, or sorry, what search crawlers crawl your website. This is just saying all search crawlers. Like, you have the difference between Google and Bing, and if there's any other search engine like DuckDuckGo. Allow, we're saying we're allowed to crawl all files except that are disallowed. Sitemap here, we're just pointing to our sitemap here, which is below, which is this file here. We'll get to this later. Oh, I guess we will get it right now. So sitemap is generated and en route. So we have our sitemap here. It's all generated and it's in the root folder here. Like, depending on your CMS, you can check by going to your website here. Like, for example, let's go to here, Let's check, make sure that it's actually working. Sitemap.xml. All right, so we're getting our sitemap, so we know that's working. We know Googlebot can crawl it. Let's check our robots.txt. Again, same idea. We know that the Googlebot can crawl it because it's accessible. Let's go here. Sitemap submitted to Google Search Console. Okay, so because this is a live site, typically you want to do this whenever you just posted the site live. Say we did updates to the sitemap, like we changed the page. What we would do is we'd just remove in the sitemap here the page that we removed, and we would 301 redirect it to whatever. We'd 301 direct it to the new page, or back to the home page if we're just deleting that specific URL. All right, let's go into Google Search Console here, and we will go to sitemaps, and basically all you want to do is just put in the URL to that sitemap. So we'll go back to here, just put in sitemap, copy this guy, enter the URL. Now Google Search Console has access to our sitemap. So now the Googlebot knows what to crawl next time. Let's go back to our checklist. Sitemap submitted to Google Search Console, awesome. 404 redirects to the appropriate page. Again, what we would do here is we would go back to our pages. We would check Google Search Console are not found or 404s, and we would export these to Google Sheets. Pages affected, table. We will grab these URLs, and I'm just going to point all 26 back to the home page. Okay, I need to go into redirects. Take this, paste. What we're going to do is we are going to just point them back to this here. So we're just pointing it back to the main site, and then we're saying it's a 301, and then this little exclamation mark means it's a forced to do that. We're just going to add them for each one of them here. Usually I'd run a macro for this using Vim, but again, it's not that much. We can just go ahead and do that real quick. What I should have, make sure to add the slash at the end there. You want to keep it consistent, because you can run into a lot of issues if you don't properly configure your sitemap. Throw that back to the home page, because what you could run into is something called like URL chaining. So basically what that means is you're moving you're moving whatever page you previously had back to the new page, but then from that new page there you're pointing back to your old page. So what happens is Googlebot just keeps going in circles because it doesn't know how to get out of that, right? So, and then it's just stuck, and it uses up all your crawl budget, which really sucks. All right, perfect, that's done. It saves me some time in the future. I should have done that all off camera, but now all our 404s are redirected. So when I submit, when I push these changes live now, what I would do is I would go back into Search Console here. Let's go back to the main pages. All of these 404 not founds, they would become page with redirects here, and you would go click See Details. Okay, these are all pending, so I can't do that yet. But there's a button that would pop up here, and it would basically say validate the changes that you've made, and that will fix the 404 issues here. So once those 404 issues are fixed, it would go to your page with redirect here, and then that would be fixed. So that'd be good. Canonical tags here, because I'm using a specific framework, I'm using a framework, it does this automatically for me, so I can just go ahead and validate fix. But if you're doing it manually, I'll show you how to do that in a second. What you would do is you would find the page here. So this page here saying that the canonical is improper, which would be in our base, but it's using a query parameter. So what I'm going to do for that is I am going to copy. Okay. This is actually an interesting case. Okay, so we have our tribe redirected here. So we're redirecting it in the events, I believe. Okay, oh, that's actually for the root homepage as well. So I think what I'm going to do here for this is, because it's a canonical, but it's for the home page and it's a URL, I can't really do anything about that. So I'll just go ahead and validate the fix. But if it was like a non-query parameterized, and it was just a normal link, what I would do is I would copy that, and I would run a redirect for that. So let's just go into base real quick for that. Fine. Go into base here, and you can see how we have our canonical here. I just add another meta tag, and we would just specify that we're pointing it somewhere else. I don't actually know the syntax for this, so we're just going to pretend that I pointed it somewhere else. But you just take the old URL and you redirect it to the new one. You can find documentation for that. Okay, and let's go back into here. We will mark this as a yes. Okay, mark orphan pages. So again, what we'd use is we'd use Screaming Frog. I'm going to pull that up real quick. And it's going to crawl all of the URLs for the site. So we're going to see if we have any orphan pages. No thanks. All right, grab the URL here. Cool. And we're going to start. So what it's doing is it's crawling our website. So much like Googlebot would see our site. It's basically what's happening here. We'll go to the Issues tab. All right, so missing alt text. Where are we missing alt text? Orange. Oh, so we're actually missing alt text for one of the images in the blog. I'll fix that later. Sign up form. It's missing an H1 title. As you can see, we'd have to go in and fix all these issues. But now we have something to tell us all of the technical issues with our site. all in one go. The meta description here, I wouldn't worry about that. Images, these are just all opportunities. So we only have a couple issues here. We only have the missing H1 on this what to expect page. And we have multiple slashes. Where the heck is multiple slashes? I'd have to check the navigation bar for that. The header or wherever it's being used. That one's going to be a bit trickier to find. And alt attributes. Okay, that's fine. It's purely a decorative image. All right, so we really don't have much technical issues here. Again, a site structure here. This is telling us everything about our site structure. Let's go back into orphan pages. I know we don't have any orphan pages. Nothing was flagged about that. Because if we go into site structure here, we can see, right, all of it's under the main root. So it's all under the main root. We're all good. There's no, everything is internally linked to each other. So that's all good. Mark that as a yes. Canonical pointing to the correct pages. We just discussed that earlier with Google Search Console there. Yes, we're all good on this specific site. Again, like most of these issues you won't have because your CMS will do them for the most part for you. Viewport meta tag, and that's in base here. So that's just these guys. This is specifically for backwards compatibility for Edge, and for viewing for this viewport here is for mobile, so everything scales correctly down. Title, meta description tags. Okay, so what we do is we just go into here, index, and we would look at whatever the title and description here. This gets formatted out into the base here, this title here. So it would turn into this title tag and the description, which is right here. All right, so that's all good. Again, you would check every single page, make sure that it's there. Which actually this tool would have caught that as well. What you could do is just export it and work through the issues. Which is what we're doing right now. Good URL permalink structure, close to the root domain as possible. Basically what that means is if you are in like a competitive niche, say you have your services here. See how, let's go to this website here. Go into the see how these are 2 hops away from the main domain here. What you would want to do instead is, instead of having this service hub page, you would want to have it move back 1 so it's closer to the root domain, because the further away it is, the less likely Google is to crawl it. Small navigation. This is hard with e-commerce sites because you have a lot of products, but basically what you want to do is you want to have the link equity flow to as few places as possible and concentrate it. This really isn't like an audit thing. You can just mark this as yes. It's more of like a nice reminder. Check no index and no follow meta tags. Basically just make sure that in the title, in the head section, that you don't have a no index or a no index and no follow tags, or else the Google bot won't be able to crawl that page. But what you would do is, say you have that issue, you just again remove it. Nothing complicated. No redirect chains. again, that was in here. Let's say we have page 1 and we're pointing to another page, but then that, say that we, back up. Say we have page 1 and we're pointing to page 2, but then with page 2 we're pointing back to page 1. That would be a redirect chain because it's going in a loop, which is really bad for our crawl budget. But we don't have that here. We can just mark that as yes. Redirect all HTTP to HTTPS. So usually you'd want to do this at your DNS level. Make sure that you're pointing everything from HTTP to HTTPS. Usually do this on your domain, but for some reason, whatever, if you had to, you could just do your domain and then /star, which is a wildcard, and then back to your main domain here, and just 301 it that way. But again, Screaming Frog, it didn't catch anything that was HTTP, so we're all good there. Again, we have a valid certificate. This is more, you would configure this on your DNS side. Semantic HTML. I'm going to mark that as yes. Again, this is a nice to have. It's not exactly necessary, but you should have your H1, your H2s, your H3s all sequentially, depending on your topic and then your subtopic. Valid schema. So I don't think I have it for this site, but for local businesses there, I should probably have an organization schema because it is a local organization. But just making sure that all your schema is valid. I'm just going to mark this as yes. Pass web core vitals. So you just go to this tool here, punch in your website. It should flag any issues if we have any with the site. Again, this is a very clean site. Like there's some issues I'll have to fix, but like just like specifically with like we're missing an alt attribute, a couple of H2s, multiple slashes. I don't know what this multiple slashes is. It's probably something in the header. Yeah, so our page speed's pretty fast. Like it is slow with the image, but that's because we are loading a big image. I've reduced the size of it, so again, this should be faster as well going forward. What does it say for accessibility issues? So this is just contrast issues. It's marking things that are supposed to be hidden as these are purely decorative, so we don't need to worry about them. Again, more decorative elements, so it's fine. Mark this as a yes. We don't have any 500 errors. If you would talk to your hosting provider if you have any 500 errors for your website. Mobile friendly. So this tool here will test if your website's mobile friendly. I know for a fact this is, so I'm just going to mark this as yes. Properly configured DMARC. So if you have email, again, this would be configured on your in your DNS there. We're just going to mark that as yes. Hrefling for international pages. Now, if you have international pages, you'd have a meta tag here, and you would be specifying what language is supported. For it. So say you're supporting French, you would put in a meta tag here and say that you are specifically that way. When Google translates it, it won't show up there. All right, sorry for that awkward cut there. Let's finish this up. Okay, so / figure that out. That was in here. I gotta remove the slash. Slash is causing the canonical here to be off. So now this issue is, where is it? Multiple slash. So this issue's fixed right here. Missing H1 on the what to expect page. Let's go find that. Let's look for, sorry, content, pages, to expect. Let's make the first one here an H1. Okay, that's fine. All right, this issue is fixed. Let's go to canonicals. Oh, that will be fixed afterwards. That's fine, being blocked. That's missing alt on chevron group. Okay, where the heck is, what page is this? This is on where the heck are you? We're missing alt text on that. Okay, let's go check. I think that's dynamically rendered. So that would be in the blog there. If I can find it. Image. Why isn't the? Okay, that's weird. It's 'cause it's not in quotation marks. So that should fix it. The alt text. Chevron group. Let's go check. Let's go check the banner, which would be assets maybe. No, does it give me a page? On contact. All right, let's go check contact. Oh, I forgot the alt text on here. Okay. Alt. Chevron. This is a purely decorative element, so we'll say it's hidden. Okay. I think that's all of the issues. So what we'll do now is we will go back into here, back into here. It says I'm offline. Gonna check my Wi-Fi for a minute. Nope, we're good. Refresh. All right. Semantic HTML. We can mark this as a yes now. All right. what's the so font helper here. All right. Poppins. What's all the files I need? Sorry, just give me a second here. Okay. Just gotta find the folder for it. Folder for the fonts. I should open it. Okay, so I have Laura and Poppins. Laura. What am I using for Poppins? So 700, 500, and regular. Okay. 700, regular, 500. That was in italics, right? No, okay, Laura's only the italic one. Historic support. Okay, cool. I'm gonna download that. Take this. Copy in our root. Poppins. Okay. So, again, we have all of the different browsers it supports. I only really care about the top two though, because that's about like 95% of the browsers. Okay, awesome. Do the same thing. Cool. Let's see if it just downloaded real quick. Yeah, we'll try downloading it again. Can't be reached. Why can't you be reached? Okay, because I don't have internet apparently. I'll fix that. Awesome. Okay. So now that I have that, let's grab the other one. All I'm gonna do, it's getting real awkward not being. Okay, that's done. Now I need Laura. That's done. Awesome. Now we've got all our Poppin font. Now just basically Laura. Go into here. So what we're doing is we're just getting it ready for static import. 600. 600, 400, and 700. 700. Okay, we want historic support. Assets. Fonts. So we're using an absolute path here. We're going to download it. And then we're just going to copy and paste this again. All right, let's finish this up. This is so inefficient. All right, perfect. That should be the last of it. What I can do now tech SEO audit. Okay. I wasn't even recording. That was super awkward. Okay, so what I did was I went back into Google Search Console after we pushed the changes live. So now all the changes are updated to the site. So what I did was I went into Pages here. I clicked this Not Found button. There was a button here that said Validate for the fixes. I clicked Validate. So now what should happen is when we go back to Pages here, if everything went successful, Google will email us and tell us that, yeah, the changes are good. And these 404s should become page with redirect. Now, once we get that, then we need to go into here and we need to click validate again, and then that should fix all the issues. So now we just gotta wait for them to validate. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.